Hi everybody, this is Corey Forrest, and this week I am talking to all those early in their career people who are aspiring to be leaders one day. So I'm here to tell you that you are a leader already because I firmly believe that everybody is a leader. We lead in our homes, we lead in our communities, in the groups we belong to. Even if we don't have that formal title of leader at work, we are in a leadership role almost all the time. For example, but we tend to forget, to be honest. We tend to only think about leadership when we have the formal title or when we have direct reports. And as much as I do this stuff and I teach this stuff, I had to be reminded of this when I switched from a formal leadership role in tech leadership to teaching leadership development. And all of a sudden I didn't have any direct reports anymore. So I was like, well, I'm not leading anybody. I don't have a team or anything. And it took one of my colleagues to tell me that every time I stepped in front of that classroom and I was teaching leadership skills, I was the leader. I was the one who had to connect with the people. I had to show them why that these skills were important to learn, and I had to lead them through the material itself. So you don't have to have the formal title of leader in order to be a leader. Now, a lot of people think that leadership requires some natural born characteristics, and that's really a myth. There are no natural born leaders. There are certain personality traits which make it easier to hold leadership roles and do the things that you need to do, but nobody is born with the complete set of skills that becoming a leader requires. So everybody has to learn something. So as we celebrate President's Day this week, I was thinking to myself about, well, how did George Washington and Abe Lincoln, whose birthdays we're celebrating here, how did they become great? Where were they early in their careers? And how did they become great in hindsight kind of thinking? So what I really thought about was making a name for yourself. Okay, we need to be known as an aspiring leader. Even if we don't put those words out there, you want to be seen as an up-and-comer because of the actions you're taking. So this week I have 4 tips for us on how to make a name for yourself when you want to go into leadership in your organization. So the first one is to get to know everyone. Go to company gatherings, stop people in the hallways, talk to them, and really listen to their answers. You really want to focus on asking them about themselves and let them do most of the talking. You're just that interested person who's trying to find out more. This helps you find out how things actually get done within your organization and what's really going on currently within the organization. Not only that, but when you stop and talk to people and you start gathering those allies around you, you start to be able to connect people to each other. Like, someone may talk to you and say, oh, I don't know how to do this thing. And you're like, oh, I know just the person you need to talk to. And then you can connect people. And according to Malcolm Gladwell, being a connector is a very, very valuable resource to be within an organization. Now, this one, getting to know everybody, is really easier for the extroverts, okay? So I said that there are people who have personality traits that make it easier. Extroversion is one of those things, and there's been a lot of studies that prove that. But that doesn't mean that the introverts amongst us have to give up, because it means that you can stretch and kind of be that extroverted person who approaches people and talks to people. But just realize that it's going to be kind of like a conscious decision that you make, and also that it's going to be a little more draining for you. So you don't want to leap right in and all of a sudden be talking all day long to everybody. You'll kind of exhaust yourself. But the introverts absolutely can still do this. So the second tip is know when to turn down work. You have to be able to do this politely and with reasonableness, and that mindset that you're really helping, you want to help the other person out. So a couple of ways to do that is to say things like, I would love to help, but I'm swamped this week. I can do it next week, or I can help you find somebody who can get it done in your timeline. You know, I just don't want to do a crummy job for you on this. So that's one way to do it. And another way is to say something along the lines of, well, thanks for thinking of me. This is a great opportunity and I want to help, but my plate is pretty full this week. Now, we could set up a meeting and talk about the task, and maybe you can, hold it off for a week while I finish this other thing. But you want to watch, no matter which sentence or type of thing you say, you want to watch your nonverbals. You don't want to roll your eyes like, oh my God, here they are asking me to do work again. And you don't want to, let your tone or your nonverbals give a message that you're not being that reasonable, helpful person. So tip 1, get to know everyone. Tip 2, know when to turn down work. The third tip is work as hard as everyone else. This includes the time. If the team is putting in a lot of time to get something done, be there right alongside with them, because that's what leaders do. Leaders are working with their team to get the job done. But it also means that the tasks, that no matter what needs to be done, if the team needs it to be done, you can do it. There are no tasks that are beneath you. I remember one time I was a team lead, and we had a protocol that had the facilitator for the meeting and then a separate note taker. And this woman had a meeting coming up, but there was nobody else on the team available to be the note taker, so I did it. And someone even came up to me and said, I can't believe you're the one taking the notes during this meeting. And I just looked at him and I'm like, it needed to be done. That was our process and it needed to be done. So work as hard as everyone else, not only with the amount of time, but the tasks that you're doing. And my fourth and final tip is to always offer solutions. Bosses love to know the problems that are coming up. I mean, they don't want to be blindsided by anything, but they also totally appreciate when people come in with solutions as well. So if you're going to be taking a problem up, offer a solution as well. I mean, we try to prevent problems, and we can't, life happens. We just can't prevent all of them. So that's what I have for you this week. If you want to be an aspiring leader, get to know everyone, know when to turn down work politely, work as hard as everyone else, both time and tasks, and offer solutions. That's it for this week, and I'm leaving you with the lighter side with a quote from former President Jimmy Carter. And he said, "My esteem in this country has grown substantially. It's very nice when people wave at me now using all of their fingers." Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.